Hi, everybody. I'm here with Janet. She's been in the bartending industry for over 30 years. How are you today, Janet?
Muy bien, very good, thank you.
Great. So why don't we start off by talking about where'd you grow up, city, what state?
Okay, grew up in Erie, Pennsylvania. I grew up on Ninth and Cascade. Um, it was mostly older kids, so I always tried to act older than I was, and it was not multicultural at that time, but it was definitely ethnic diversity.
Hmm.
So I had a lot of friends that back in the day when I was growing up, hanging around somebody that wasn't white
Okay.
wasn't considered, but my parents always taught me, they weren't religious, but they were faithful,
Right.
that you all look the same inside. And that's where
Awesome.
that's where you find. So they were fine with me having friends over
Variety of
that
friends.
weren't white, if you want to say. So this helps me in my job, what I do now, because to me, I don't look on the outside, I look on the inside.
Mm. So is that something? What's something because you had that diverse experience? What's something that has stuck with you your whole life?
Yes, yes. Because I remember when I was learning to become a teacher, I was going on a field job experience, and there was a fellow student walking with me who was black, and I had a friend, parent, say something to her about that I shouldn't be doing that. And it was like, wow, that stuck with me.
Right. Right.
The other thing that stuck with me is when I was learning Spanish, I went to Venezuela with a friend, and they all wanted to learn. They all wanted to try their English out on me. So I was speaking English, and I had a gentleman come up to me and icily said, "You're in Venezuela. You speak Spanish. You Americans think that you're so superior."
Mm.
And that really struck with me because I never felt like a minority so much like that. That stuck with me.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So tell me about your family a little bit. Did you grow up with both parents, one
Oh yeah,
parent?
yes, both parents. I have two brothers, three sisters. I'm the baby, and there's 6 years difference between me and the next oldest. So they were not around when I was growing up. So it was more, they were my cousins, and so I was pretty much a loner, which is fine. I'm still a loner. I'm very shy, which is amazing since I have a job bartending and teaching, which all deals with people. But bartending actually helped me skills and strategies to deal with people.
Mm. School. What was school like for you growing up?
Being a loner, it was difficult. I read all the time. When all the other kids were talking, I was reading, and that helped me because that helped me in different avenues. So when I did bartend, I could talk to different people about different things instead of I'm just, limited vocabulary, limited experience. I had different cultural experience as well that I could talk to anybody, doctors, lawyers, co-workers, guys, maintenance men. I could talk to them about anything and feel comfortable about it.
So let's get into your bartending. At what age? What made you even want to get into something like
I
bartending?
didn't. That's a funny part of it. I was, they didn't have mothers against drunk driving, so I went out a little bit earlier than normal, but that was kind of okay back in the day because I am older. But I would go to this one after hours place, and we're talking after hours. Can I say where it was? It was the Upman Corps, and I would go there, and they opened up around 2:30, closed at 7 in the morning. And one of the bartenders got fired, and the manager, who I'm not going to say who she was, pretty forceful Italian woman, said, "Hey, you're here all the time. Why don't you bartend?" And I'm like, and I'm shy, and I'm like, "No, I don't know anything about it." And she says, it was a very easy place. You either had beer or you had mixed drinks. It wasn't anything fancy.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "You can do it. I want you to start working." And I said, "Okay." And that's how I started bartending at I was 21 at the time. So that's how I started.
Okay. So what was that first year like in the
Oh my
bartending?
gosh, I was so petrified because I was not, I mean, it's one thing to be in the bar, but to work in a bar and to deal with people and know how to deal with them. It was kind of funny because I finally started getting a little more confidence. And these guys, they spent their money. They don't hardly have any money, so they weren't tipping. So I started with, hey, you got a quarter? And I would put it in my hand. I said, if you can grab that quarter, you can have it back. So then it got to be more quarters. Then it got to be, you put it in your hand. Now they can drink it, so I can do it. So I said, put 4 quarters there. I grab it, it's mine. Then they go, hey, got some more quarters, guys? Come on. She just took $2 from me. And that's how I got a little more confidence in what I was doing.
Right. So, what's the toughest part of the job, would you say? What's the toughest part of being
having to know when and how to shut somebody off. I've learned that you just do not ramrod and say, you can't go, you got to get out of here. If you say to them, I know you're having fun and I'm glad you are, but I want to make sure you come back tomorrow and have fun too. You can have one more. After that, you don't have to leave. You can have coffee, pop, water, I'm not going to charge you. You can say you're going to have fun, but just one more, and that's it. I never had a problem. Some bartenders I know, they got ashtrays thrown at them because how they handle themselves. And that also helped me in my job teaching as well, knowing how to handle things in a civilized, calm way.
Anybody like customers that you've had like 30 years, 20 years, people that are like a long time that you've really gotten to know over the years?
I worked at Haggerty's 31 years. And I started off just a couple days, and then it got to be on Saturdays, and then he opened up on Sundays. So I ended up working there, well, both jobs, 7 days a week, but every weekend. So when people would say, oh, the weekend's coming, I'm like, I'm working, so it's just another day. But after 31 years, yes, I've watched, I'm gonna get a little choked up, customers pass away. I've seen some with cirrhosis of the liver and tried to help them stop drinking, and they wouldn't, so they're gone. I've had some just of old age. I've gone to the hospital, prayed with them, and some I still go to Haggerty's on Saturdays just to meet some of them, just because they become friends. Some of them are my customers, but some, when you see, how's your mom doing? How did you get another job? I've really built friendships with them.
Right.
And I still text some of them and email them.
So what are some of the highs of the job? What are some of the highs, like great things about it?
Seeing people that come in and they're in a good mood, and it's a sales job. I'm a salesperson because I'm selling my personality. Even though I have something going on, I don't feel well or whatever, I still have to put on that happy face. And I want them to feel comfortable, because if they feel comfortable, I'm more comfortable, and I'm making tips, which is, I hate to say that, but that's what I'm there for.
Right.
And to making the friendships. I've seen some people in good ways and bad ways, and just the friendships that I still have, even though I'm not working there any longer.
Right. Any funny stories you can tell us? Anything you want to share?
Oh, I've learned to watch what I say. The one time the one guy came in all dressed up, and usually he's, jeans and dirty. He worked in cars. And I'm like, oh, what? We all dressed up for? Going to a wedding? He goes, no, to a funeral. I felt so stupid. So anytime somebody got dressed up, I would say, oh, you going to a wedding? Yours? So I learned not to watch what I say.
Right.
The one time it was really cool, it was my birthday, and I try not to let people know when my birthday is. And one of my friends was there, and the bar was packed, and she had everybody sing happy birthday to me at once. And that was cool but embarrassing, but that's something I remember.
Right. Anything changed over the years? Like, have you seen any changes in the bar industry?
Yes. I've been working at Haggerty's, like I said, 31 years. That's when all the factories were up and running. That place was packed. It was wall-to-wall people, especially on the weekends or Fridays when they got their paycheck. And there was like 3 bartenders behind the bar. Gradually, everything went to overseas. Things shut down. We used to serve lunches. I used to work lunches there. Steris closed down, Steris moved, and it dwindled. On Saturdays, my bar, I call it my bar, But on Saturday mornings when I would open up at 7, that place was packed. At 7:15, nah, not the same, because people don't have the jobs. Third shift left. There's still some second shifts, but yeah, the job has definitely changed. The factories, yeah, that made a big difference.
Have you seen a big change in like prices over the years for things, or pretty much?
They try. Haggerty's is a working man's bar, so they try to keep prices at a reasonable rate. Some of the things, she tried to get a younger crowd coming in, so you do have those high-end tequilas and stuff like that. They're a little more pricey,
Right.
yeah, but they still offer really good prices.
What about difficult customers? Like, how
Like
do you,
my ex-husband?
what do you suggest for dealing with, or what's your strategies for dealing with?
There is definitely some people that I would see come in and go, oh, no, 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 no. Especially if they had already been drinking, because I know they're trouble. I try to put on a good face. I don't have an attitude towards them, even though in my mind it's like, I wish you would go somewhere else. And the best thing I could do is just try to be kind to them, be supportive of what they're doing or laughing at their jokes, but watching, definitely I would not overpour. So if they're drinking beer, I can't really do anything unless it's draft. I could put a big head on it for them, and say, oh, sorry about that, but we'll get you the next one or something. But definitely I could underpour.
Right.
And just if I was busy, and that was a good thing, is you're gonna wait. You're gonna wait.
Make them wait a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So what's a good day? Good day for you as a bartender. What was it when you went home at night? That was a good day. That was a great night for me, or a great day.
Actually, I only worked weekends for the last part because I have this job here. Saturday mornings, I love Saturday mornings because I'm a morning person. And my one customer, he'd come bring me a coffee. Back in the day when some other customers, they would bring me egg McMuffins, they would bring me Danish and stuff like that. So it was always nice. And my one customer, Randall, God bless him, he was making a cookbook out, and I was his tester, and I got to test all his wonderful bakery stuff. That was so great. Sundays was Sunday Fun Day, and it was just fun. The crowd that would come in on Sundays was fun. So I had fun both days.
Always had fun, huh?
Yeah.
Anytime you ever went home, like, man, that wasn't such a good day.
Oh yeah, especially some of the guys that would come in that weren't so pleasant. I'm not one of those dirty joke people. I don't want to hear them. I just let them know nicely. Please tell your customer next to you. I don't want to hear it. I had a couple with swearing so bad. It's like, I'm sorry, but if you want to set a table and talk like that, but I feel disrespected.
Right.
Even though they said you're in a bar, that doesn't mean I have to act like I'm a bar person.
Right. So someone comes to you right now and says, "Hey, Janet, I want to get into the bartending business. Can you give them some advice?"
Yes, definitely learn some drinks. I mean, popular drinks. You definitely want to do that. You want to have a good personality for it. I'm shy. It took me a while to learn how to be personable and to connect with people and talk with them. But what made it easy was I had that bar in between. So I wasn't sitting next to you talking to you, and I could leave whenever I wanted to. So that made it a lot easier. But you're a salesperson. You got to sell your personality. You do.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any specialty drinks, or can you pretty much make?
Too. They would come in when we had the Roar in the Shore. I would have a group of people come in for my Bloody Marys, and still, even the customers that I have in Erie, Bloody Marys and Long Island iced teas, and my White Russians. People would come in for that for me because I would make them. Some of the bartenders don't shake them. You have to shake a Kahlua and cream or a White Russian. You just can't pour. No. Anything with sours, you have to shake. And make it a little fancy how you pour too.
Yeah. So, Janet, we'd like to thank you for your time today.
You're welcome.
Great interview.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to say before we wrap up or anything?
No, just a shout out to Haggerty's. I miss a place, but gave me a lot of good memories. But I'm getting older and it's time to just do something else.
Once again, this was Janet, ladies and gentlemen. She was a bartender for over 30 years and still kicking and having a great time. Thanks, Janet.
You're welcome.